Well, good morning and welcome to Zen Fits on this beautiful Thursday in Blackstone, Virginia, the center of the world. But then you too are at the center of the world. So the title of this talk is My Theory That Explains Everything. Now, if you study philosophy, it is a series of philosophers who come up with the theory that explains everything because the previous theory or philosophy didn't explain everything. So whenever you explain anything, you can't explain everything. We do the best we can, but there's always something left out, something we didn't figure, something that didn't fit, something that we didn't see even. And so the next guy comes along and says, wait a minute, he didn't say that, he didn't say this. Facebook has a lot of that. I have a friend, no matter what beautiful idea or explanation I come up with, he will always say, wrong, you didn't say that. You didn't say this. You didn't talk about that. You left out this. Why didn't you talk about that? Even with I digress here, but even if you criticize Trump, people say, well, why didn't you criticize the Democrats? You didn't criticize them. Or whatever you say, well, you didn't see that. You see how it goes? So everybody wants to have the theory that explains everything. And when we have it, we believe we've done it, you see. So what is mine? Okay. Let's look at the way, I practice Zen Buddhism. I don't go to a Zen center or anything. I just practice it. And that's the practice of seeing, fresh. I use the metaphor, fresh step for my cat box. Zen is fresh step. You see? No crap. So remember, there are two ways of fixing things. Now, the dominant way of seeing how to fix a problem in the modern world, which began with the 17th century and the birth of enlightenment and science, the scientific method, Newton, Copernicus, Galileo, they saw the world as a machine. And you can fix a machine. Find out what the laws are. Fix it. Understand it. Find out what caused the problem and take that little thing out. You've got a car, a computer, a toaster. You find the problem, the cause of the dysfunction, the cause of the disorder, the cause of pain, and you take that part out and put in a new one. Is the first cause. A part is the first cause. But when it comes to life, now we're old. In the birth of the 60s, you had holistic thinking. Everybody wants organic. Everybody wants holistic, natural. What does that mean? It means that you're not seeing life as a machine, but as an organism, a whole, not just a bunch of marbles. See, a machine is a bunch of parts. You take it apart, you put it back together, it works. But you take apart a cow, it won't work if you put the parts back together. See? So if you're going to fix a machine, you need a manual that will describe its operating system and its parts and its relationship, all that you see, and then you can get in there and fix it. But when you view the world like that, you see, as a mechanism, the thinking you use to fix a machine, which is on-off thinking, like a machine works, is this right or wrong? Well, this is a bad part, throw it out. There's no gray area, either that part is bad or not, you see. But when we apply on-off thinking to life, it's called moralism. Is that person bad or good? Well, if it's bad, get rid of them. You see, so even if you're going to look at mass shooting through the mechanistic moralism thinking, well, then you say, well, you eliminate the bad shooter's the problem. He's sick, he was mentally disturbed, he was a rogue, he was insane, he was evil, so just get rid of him. Or terrorism. Well, yeah, there's a terror. Get rid of the terrorist. So we'll just go out and keep finding individual terrorists and shoot them. But then you say, but they keep growing. There's the myth of Hercules. I think he had to defeat the Hydra, and chop off, but you chop off one head and another one grows, two more grow. Or there's the Sorcerer's Apprentice with Mickey Mouse. You know, they, they keep multiplying, problems keep multiplying. So we're in the modern world now because we have applied mechanistic thinking, on-off or moralistic thinking. The problems multiply. Every new solution creates two new problems. We see that. Obviously, DDT was a good example. After World War II, oh, DDT works. Gets rid of the bad bugs. Spray it on everything. It killed the good bugs. And the eagles and everybody. Is an organism, a whole. So there has to be a new way of thinking about life rather than mechanistic. But mechanistic thinking is the dominant way of thinking in the West until now. The postmodern world, you see, which began with the 60s, I think, the 60s began to think holistically. Everybody wanted to be natural. Everybody wanted to be organic. Think wholly. Holistic medicine. Look at the whole body. Don't just look at the parts. You see, it's not a machine. Understand the conditions. So it's a different way of looking, this organic thinking, because you're looking intuitively versus analysis. See, analysis starts looking inward at the parts. You analyze that, analyze that, analyze that. Oh, there's a bad tooth, take it out. Aha, I found the first cause, I found the thing, you see. That's okay, but it has limitations. So organic thinking, holistic thinking, you see, sees the world totally differently now. You start intuitively, you see a problem, you don't start breaking it down like a butcher. You start relaxing and letting intuition grasp the whole. Oh, I see the whole. My wife does that. Now, when it comes to ideas, I'm holistic thinking. This is my forte. This is where I'm free, connecting dots, seeing holes. But when it comes to fixing a box, I'm helpless. I got something. We've got to put something together. Okay, comes in Amazon. You got to put the thing together. Whatever. Okay. And so I'm just I'm trying to jam this in there, and this doesn't fit. They left out a part, and she'll come in and say, "Oh, well, just put this here, that there," and she just hands just kind of like no, which will just she fiddles with it. No, that works. So she kind of like. Sees the whole context where I kind of like focus on the parts. So she has when it comes to fixing some new thing or something, putting something together, figuring out something physically, see, she has a wide angle lens. She like grasps the whole and then knows what part to move. But with me on that particular plane, all I see is a bunch of parts and I can't see the whole. So you just keep trying to jam this part into that. It's like a puzzle where you don't see the whole puzzle, the picture. So you're kind of like going blind. You just jam pieces together, you see. Once you see the whole picture, everything begins to fit. So when you intuitively see the whole, everything begins to fit. And what you do is right action because it fits. But if all you see is a bunch of parts and you don't see the whole, you don't understand the whole, everything you do is wrong and creates more problems. So this is kind of like, we experience this in our daily life, but we're also experiencing it in our collective life. Now, the two parties that we have kind of like lean in these two ways. The Republican Party leans in the mechanistic, moralistic way. The problem is the individual. That's the problem. If you can't get a job, it's your fault. The left will lean towards conditions. Well, what are the conditions that created the poverty? Let's change the conditions. And the right would say, well, just get a job. If you're addicted, just say no. The left would say, well, what are the conditions that create the drug problem? Well, both are valid. But one needs the other to dance with if you're going to find the solutions. You can't divide them into two opposite ways of looking at reality because you need both. Working together, dancing together like Fred and Ginger. In this situation, you need the right. In this situation, you need the left. Like a marriage. One minute the wife is telling you what to do, the next minute you're telling the wife what to do. You work in your strength, she works in her strength, and you dance together, each giving way to the other. So when it comes to a new shelf to put together or some new, I let my wife help. I'm the man, I'm supposed to know what to do, get the fuck out of here. Don't tell me where to go, the male slot, he won't look at the map. And the wife said, "Wait, honey, just look at, I know where I am." I'm the man, I know where I am. See, the intuitive and the analysis, they work together. And that's my Zen Fit for today. Thanks for dropping in.